I'm 18 and I can finally do it all.
Except drink.
Start my career.
Except drink.
If that doesn't work, be in the military or better yet a porn star. Yeah. Porn star.
Idiot, you still cannot drink alcohol until you're 21.
So I'm not an adult, is what you're saying.
No, you are. But not 21 like me. As soon as you little kids turn 18, you think you are grown. What's the big deal about waiting until you're 21 to drink? What's the rush?
Well, legally I am considered an adult at 18. If I can purchase and publicly use cigarettes, why can't I buy and publicly consume alcohol?
If the drinking age was lowered to 18, all of you would go crazy. Getting into accidents and acting a fucking fool all of the time.
Maybe if alcohol was introduced to teens at a younger age, accidents and all the other shit you worried about wouldn't happen so much. In countries like Greece, drinking is introduced to teens of younger ages and they drink socially all of the time. Public displays of drunkenness are rare and these teens gradually learn how to handle alcohol.
So you want drunk babies?
Be real and take this serious. Teens who want to drink do. This drinking minimum isn't stopping them. If alcohol consumption was introduced at a younger age, teens wouldn't have to pull high misters and sneak around their parents and the government to buy it. Graduated licenses should be issued to 18-year-old and classes to 14 through 17-year-olds.
This whole alcohol graduated license thought is absurd. How do you propose this system be enforced? Just like we have a graduated system for teens to drive, like taking driver's ed, getting a permit and various versions of a license, the same could be enforced for alcohol.
14 through 17 classes should be taught to show teens how to properly consume alcohol. By the time they turn 18, they would have a graduated license that would have limits. Alcohol sold to people 18 through 20 would be taxed more and they would only be allowed 2 drinks in a bar, 1 per hour.
You really must be an alcoholic. This idea is still stupid. According to MAD, more than 25,000 lives have been saved in the U.S. with the 21 minimum legal drinking age. Besides, young people react to alcohol differently. Teens get drunk twice as fast as adults and don't know when to stop. So therefore they naturally overdo it.
Well, that organization is biased anyway. And what age group do these 25,000 lives save? Statistics apply to people 18 through 20, right? People who overdrink get twice as drunk as individuals who don't. This doesn't matter if you're 18 or 26. When someone turns 21 and binges, is that okay? Is 21 the magical number when someone knows their limit? It is known that alcohol consumption by young teens cannot be avoided. It is better to educate than ignore the issue and say don't drink. Just like with sex. If teens or anyone wants to have premarital sex, educate them about contraceptives and safe sexual practices just like they do in sexual education.
So you're an alcoholic and a sex addict. Figures. Well, to inform you, most schools refuse to teach children about sex. They are strictly for abstinence. The same scenario applies here. You really think anyone else is going to listen to this idea of yours?
At least I'm not asking to change the whole drinking age like others have argued in the past. According to the Alcohol Policies Project in the state of Arizona, lowering the drinking age increased the incidence of fatal accidents by more than 25 and the traffic fatalities by more than 35. Lowering the drinking age in Massachusetts caused an increase in the total fatal crashes, alcohol-related fatal crashes and alcohol-related property damage crashes among 18 through 20-year-old drivers.
See, you fucking idiots would kill everyone on the road because none of you are mature enough to handle alcohol.
Hold up now, bitch. When did maturity fall into this? I didn't know there was such a test to determine someone's maturity level. Now if you actually listened to my proposal without cutting me off, maybe you would understand what I'm talking about. If 14 through 17-year-olds were involved in taking a drinking course, then it could decrease the chances of fatal accidents. It's not like when they turn 18 and get a graduated drinking license that it's giving them the okay to go buck wild. Come on now, it's common sense. The graduated license cost money. It would cost $50 and all money collected would help fix highways and other states' issues. Since the original reason states didn't make the drinking age lower than 21 had to do with the federal government not supplying them money for their state's issues. So there will be consequences for drinking and driving and supplying minors with alcohol. The consequences are having your graduated license taken away, paying a $3,000 fine, or doing jail time of 90 days. Threatening people usually results in having law-abiding citizens.
I laugh at how dumb you sound. You're actually convincing yourself that this idea works.
It could work, why not? Every idea has its faults. I'm not saying this is perfect, but no law is. Take getting a driver's license for example. You can't take classes at 14 and 9 months that teach you the risks of driving crazy, how to change a tire, and how to actually drive. According to MAD, driver education by itself does not rescue youth car crashes. Beginning drivers need other restrictions in place, such as curfews and passenger limits, to stay safe. Enforcing the consequences would help keep adults between the ages of 18 and 20 from binge drinking or drinking and driving. Under every rule, idea, or law, there always has to be some type of enforcement. Yes, in sexual education, contraceptive and STDs are taught to different individuals at younger ages, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are not going to get pregnant or catch something. At the end of the day, every individual has willpower. They choose what to do, even though there are consequences.
All this talk about educating teens at a younger age in comparison to driving and sexual education is nothing more than excuses for impatient underage drinkers. What about the negative physical side effects such as frontal lobe shrinkage? I swear you fucking teenagers never fully think shit through. Teaching or encouraging 14 through 16-year-olds to drink can mentally fuck them. What is your argument for this?
Damn bitch, I'm tired of explaining this to you, and I said 14 through 17, but to prove you wrong I'll continue. According to a study conducted by Dr. M. Kubota, the frontal lobe naturally shrinks with age. Individuals who consume alcohols moderately or lightly do not increase shrinkage. Heavy drinkers significantly show shrinkage in their frontal lobes. If teens are educated about drinking, there will be more awareness and teens will learn to moderate their drinking habits. You act like we live in a fucking utopia where people don't experiment with it could possibly kill them. Seems like you're the fucking immature one.
I'm 21. The government seems to think I'm mature since I can drink legally.
Well, I must be mature also. Sign I'm 18 and I can legally buy cigarettes. Join the military, get married, have credit, and walk into adult entertainment centers. Shouldn't drinking be allowed at 18 since I'm considered a fucking adult? My idea is a well-proposed argument. You're not taking me serious because you are already 21. So this doesn't even apply to you. But think back to how you felt when you were 18. Wouldn't you have wanted this idea to be presented?
I could care less. At 18 I was still drinking fresh out of high school and living the college life. Getting drunk, having sex, and being a wild free spirit. I did so much that I couldn't remember the next day.
Exactly my point. It's idiots like you that help my whole claim. Classes on drinking to get a graduated license actually sound like a great idea. It could help dumbasses such as yourself from fucking up and binging until they forget their own name like you. It's funny you talk about maturity when in reality psychologists have proven that the brain doesn't fully develop until 25. So why was 21 even chosen?
Wow, so harsh. 21 was chosen because the government figures that you'll be mature and responsible enough to handle yourself by 21. You have enough driving experience, life experiences, and by then you are almost done with college and usually living on your own. They see it as you're more of an adult by then.
How stupid is that? You are considered more of an adult by 21. That is only a 3-year period between 18 and 21. That isn't a long period at all. Seems to me that they just picked a random number and set it as the drinking age. You can't determine how mature and responsible someone is by their age. Unless the government sits down with every individual, then this age reasoning is a bunch of bullshit.
I personally think you need to stop talking. You're complaining entirely too much. I don't even think you should have all the rights that you do. I wouldn't give any of you cigarettes, let you get married, or even have a credit card. You're too immature for that.
Oh my, see, you make a good point here. Thank you for helping my case. If you are 18 and allowed to have a credit card, why couldn't you choose to drink? Do you know how bad credit cards screw someone's life up? Think about that. Adults that get credit cards at a young age and are irresponsible with it tend to ruin their whole life, since your credit is everything. With bad credit or no credit, it is much harder to receive any type of help or anything for cheap. Having car insurance with no credit isn't an easy price to pay for a minimum wage worker. No credit stops you from getting a house, car, or any type of transportation or shelter. This is something that could ruin a person's life. Someone could end up in debt, which later leads to bankruptcy. Then there is no way to receive any credit after that for 7 years. The government allows these younger adults to obtain a credit card, but shouldn't they also be allowed to drink with consequences?
I never even looked at it like that. Listening to you has opened up my mind a little. In the beginning, I wanted to punch you for even speaking. I wondered why your parents even taught you to speak, but it all makes sense now. So what are all the details of your idea? I think it could make a very good proposal, so please go on.
Well, if you were listening to me, then you would know what I was talking about. The proposal is to have a graduated license for 18-year-olds. Prior to getting this license, from ages 14 through 17, classes would be taught to teach young teens how to handle alcohol responsibly and the negative consequences that could occur if it is abused. By not ignoring that alcohol is real and teens are going to drink, whether it's legal or not, we can make teens more responsible when handling alcohol. This system is not in place to encourage teens to drink earlier, but to educate them. By the time they turn 18, they will be taught and tested on the responsibility of alcohol consumption and be given the full responsibilities of a legal adult.